Welcome to an episode of The Good News, the Gospel according to AMC's Preacher.
And how fortuitous that we are doing a twofer episode, because this is our second take.
And I'm still trying to voodoo my way out of the situation.
I think the stars are on your side. Like, they're like, it's just not happening tonight.
At least
it's not going to
Skype is
happen.
on my side.
For now, I tried to call. This is like my third time trying to call you back.
If we were really cool, we would have our own YouTube channel, just like Mr. Perch.
Oh, that means I would have to do my hair and makeup before we podcast.
I just don't have the energy for a YouTube channel.
I would think I would have to get like a skin suit.
Only if you get to be the really hip guy from Angelville High.
Exactly.
That awesome shirt.
Oh, I think I'd rather be a tauntaun.
The tauntaun did not smuggle Luke anywhere, you get.
I agree. I loved that argument.
It was really funny. It was almost as good as the Big Lebowski argument.
So, we are having connectivity issues tonight, if you are not noticing.
And we're going to give Skype a little bit more of a chance.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
So we are going to talk about 2 episodes in one, season 3, episodes 3 and 4. Gonna Hurt and The Tombs.
And the tombs are gonna hurt.
I think they're going to. I think they already are.
Yes. Yes. I think we're podcasting from the tombs, and this is really gonna hurt. No, it's the Russians again. They're all mad.
Well, you know, Todd and I are pretty sure that the NSA listens to us every now and then, so maybe they just got our wires connected, or crossed, you know?
Or both.
Or both. There you go. So, I am going to give you my ratings first, and then I'll let you do yours, because we already know what our ratings are going to be, and yours are way higher.
Oh, mine are sky high.
So, for Gonna Hurt, I did 3.95 out of 5 pass-fail tests. And for The Tombs, I did 3.95 out of 5 furry Lucifers.
I loved furry Lucifer.
I thought his furry little butt was pretty funny.
So for Gonna Hurt, I did 4.25 swamp come-ons. Would you like to see my dangle? So that one was a middle book episode for me, but I absolutely loved The Tombs. I gave it a 4.9 second class packages.
And when we first attempted to record this, I was so glad that you said your rating was that high, because I was like, oh, thank God she can carry this podcast episode then, because this is kind of a middle book podcast episode for me. I'm kind of not into it tonight, and I apologize.
Oh man, I loved everything about our trip to hell. That was great. It was better than my trip to hell at SeaTac.
I bet the light show was better too.
Oh my God! So one of the preacher podcast or like preacher fan pages actually started following me on Instagram. Maybe because I started following like a bunch of preacher actors.
Oh, that's cool.
So I followed them back, and they posted this really cool GIF of somebody like doing this little dance on hell's like awesome fire floor.
It was Dominic Cooper.
Oh,
because I saw that on your Instagram page.
I seriously, like, that's so mesmerizing. I just watched it over and over. I'm like, that needs to be my screensaver or something. That's amazing. Yes, so I absolutely loved our trip to hell in the tombs. I had a hard time finding anything bad about that episode, so my bad is like very like insignificant and nitpicky.
Well, and I think we're going to kind of combine talking about the episodes once we're through writer, director, that kind of thing, right?
Right. Yeah,
okay.
I think it'll be a muddled mishmash of swamp consomme.
And I apologize to everybody now because it's partially my fault that it's that muddled mishmash. I took just random notes on both episodes, and I just feel middle bookish about my whole life right now. So
Well, and it's my fault we're podcasting late because I was the one who took a trip. So,
Although Phil did tell me in the future that if we needed someone to pinch hit for a preacher, that he would be more than happy to help us out. So
oh, that would be
we're
awesome.
going to take you up on that at one of these points, Phil. It's just a
Yes,
matter of time.
yes, definitely, definitely. I had to back out of the Ant-Man and Wasp podcast late in the game because I developed a migraine because I'm pretty sure my movie theater dosed me with NutraSweet, which I am sensitive to. I think they gave me a Diet Coke.
Yuck.
Yeah.
If
So
you don't want that, that's not good.
yeah, no, I developed a migraine because I'm slightly allergic to aspartame. So
Big yuck.
yeah, but I did like the Ant-Man and Wasp.
Oh, good. I haven't seen it yet. I still haven't managed to get to it.
Stay tuned for 2 after credit scenes, 1 mid-credit scene, 1 after credit scene.
Ah,
I
good to know.
We accidentally left early and missed the after credit scene, but it like was described to me via the interwebs. So yeah.
So I have no numbers for either episode. I looked on TV by the numbers, and Preacher didn't make the top 25 for either of its individual days or individual weeks for either episode. It was beat out by The Pimple Popper and Tucker Carlson.
Oh my God, I cannot believe Dr. Pimple Popper got her own like TV show.
Dr. Pimple Popper has her own TV show, and she is doing better than Preacher.
You know what though? Like,
I know the people who watch it tell me it's mesmerizing. I don't watch it, so I can't say.
It's so satisfying.
Maybe
Like,
it's because I do it for a living.
it's no, no. I prefer to see the images, not smell the smell. No thanks. Wow.
I get enough of it in real time. Maybe I don't need to watch it. I'd rather watch Preacher.
Well, Dr. Pimple Popper, let me just say that it is an honor being beaten by you and not a Kardashian.
And the World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
There was that.
Yeah.
Congratulations to France, right after Bastille Day.
Good for you. Good on you for knowing that. I tried to have a coherent World Cup conversation with a pediatric patient that I saw, and he was way more versed than I was.
I only pretend to hate all the sports balls. I'm secretly an Uber fan.
That is really funny.
No, I'm really, really not. I get everything. I get everything I know from Twitter headlines and retweets.
Congratulations, France. Well done.
Go!
So I will just really quickly take us through the writers and directors for these episodes because I think you probably have a lot to say about our featured cast member.
Yes.
So the writer for Gonna Hurt was a guy named Gary Tichy. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. And this is his first Preacher credit, but he's written for Medium. And then he's got like a bunch of TV movies and a couple of different TV episodes that I really didn't recognize. So didn't recognize much out of this guy. And then, oh, go ahead.
Newbie.
Yeah. And
I
then,
will bet it's Gary Tish.
do you think so?
Maybe.
I'm good with that. That works better than my attempt.
Okay.
And then the director was a guy named John Grillo, and he is also known for Westworld and The Leftovers. And I still have not followed up on my pledge to Todd that I would watch Westworld.
Oh.
I know. I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, season 1 was amazing. Like, kind of the first couple episodes of season 2 were awesome. The middle was kind of a middle. And then the end was like, what?
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I'm still trying to fit Deadwood in for our Fear the Walking Dead stuff.
Oh, right. I need to do that too. I
know,
just don't
right?
have any energy.
The other half just started watching Homeland.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And so, I probably need to watch and catch up and everything. But I'm just like, there's so much good TV.
There's like 100 seasons to Homeland. We may never talk again.
I know, right?
Right.
Me on a deserted island. Oh.
So the writer for The Tombs was a guy named Mark Stegman, and this is his second Preacher episode. He also wrote Holes last season, and his biggest credit that I found was Scrubs.
Huh.
And then we are familiar with the director for The Tombs, Wayne Yip, who directed an episode this season already. And he's known for Into the Badlands, Cloak and Dagger, Doctor Who, and of course, you reminded me last time, Misfits, which is how you know Joseph Gilgan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not a lot to offer as far as info for director and writer, but...
Well, Mark Steadman has produced a lot.
It looks like.
Yeah. Community is really big. I've never watched it. Raising Hope, Men of a Certain Age. Yeah, and you said Scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and he's got writing credits on all of those. So, not a newbie.
Not a newbie, but not someone that I know super well.
Right.
Not that that means a whole lot, because this is the perfect segue into our featured cast member. How did I miss this guy?
Colin Cunningham. Okay. Since episode 1, I have been wanting to have him as a featured castmate just because I absolutely love his other work. So what I know him from originally is a show called Falling Skies, who he did with Noah Wiley and Moon Bloodgood.
Okay, I have heard of that, and I think that you have mentioned it before, because...
Yeah, so aliens come to the Earth, and they kind of take over, and, post-apocalyptic, we're all trying to fight the aliens, and, it seems like kind of a small invasion. I think they could have tried harder. They really underestimated the humans. But we're all trying to fight these advanced aliens with our technology, and just because we're scrappy humans who never give up and everything, we're putting up a good fight. And he plays a character called whose name is John Pope, and he's kind of an oaky like backwoods survivalist kind of guy, maybe a little bit of bikerish mixed in. And he in the very beginning, he kind of seems to just kind of be out for himself. He kind of reminds me of like he would have been part of the Claimers in The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Daryl, but even more self-serving than Daryl, huh?
Definitely self-serving. But of course, he kind of like, he gets in with our, the main group with Noah Wiley and Moon Bloodgood. And, he kind of develops a heart and everything. And, it becomes kind of self-sacrificing. But every once in a while, he'll totally hamstring somebody for his own good. And so he plays a really amazing character. And I would just like to say that they have made Colin Cunningham so obscenely unattractive in Preacher. It's hilarious because the guy is gorgeous in real life.
Oh, that's really funny.
The character on Falling Skies, he's got like this long mane of hair and like, full beard and mustache and he's very, very attractive. He's 52 in real life, and I would say he's my age. I'm in my late 30s. Like they had him shave just kind of the top part of his head and grow out that comb over that he's got on Preacher.
Uh-huh.
And so he had to have that for 4 months while filming Preacher. So he actually shaved his head afterwards, and now he's got kind of this chrome dome thing happening. And he's got a little bit of a soul patch, so he kind of reminds me of Howie Mandel now.
Oh, how funny.
So the thing that I think of when I think Colin Cunningham is chameleon character actor, because he is just one of those that has been in a ton of stuff. And even going through his IMDb profile, I was shocked to see the things that I have seen him in, but I didn't register that it was him.
That was the thing that floored me, was just how much he had on his IMDb page. It was kind of overwhelming.
Yes, yes. So he's been acting on screen since 1994, and he's
no. I have to tell you, actually, since 1993, because he has a 1993 X-Files credit.
Oh,
can you believe that?
Yes, I can.
I was like, yes.
He played 3 different characters on X-Files, and they were just one-off characters between 95 and 96, or 93 and 96.
It must be 93 and 96, because it was in his biography that he had an X-Files credit back in 93.
Yeah, so he has been in a ton of stuff. The other thing,
he's kind of a quirky dude.
He very, very much is. So the other thing that I know him from, which I absolutely love him in, and it is not for everyone, it's called Blood Drive.
Now,
and
is that the one that's on Sci-Fi?
Yes. So it is it's meant to be fashioned like a grindhouse movie where, like the screen is kind of fuzzy and it blips every now and then, or sometimes the soundtrack's off, and like the nudity, quote unquote nudity in the show is it'll have the black boxes over it, and it is very 70s sexploitation, and it is the post-apocalyptic future where we have completely ruined the planet. There's like a lack of fossil fuels, like water is in short supply. There's this huge, they call it the scar in the middle of the U.S., which is like basically we broke Mother Earth open by fracking, and it's just this like huge chasm in the middle of the U.S. that you can't get on either side. It like creates its own weather. Like it's just this like horrible post-apocalyptic. So we don't, like, fuel's in short supply, and so instead of running on gasoline, our vehicles run on blood.
Cool.
Right. So when like you see a pretty lady pulled over to the side of the road and like she needs help, don't help her because she's going to feed you to her car.
Is this show still on?
No, it got 1 season.
Oh.
So Colin Cunningham played Julian Slink. So Blood Drive is a race across the United States. And anyone who wins, this huge amount of money for the time. And it's kind of a death race kind of race. And he is the master of ceremonies. And if you see a bunch of pictures on his IMDb profile of him wearing a top hat with really, really cool facial hair, that is Julian Slink. And it is the most absurdly hilarious, like awesome, creepy character. He's just amazing in the role. I have fallen in love with the show Blood Drive. I'm really upset that it only got 1 season, but Colin Cunningham is amazing in the role, and he's an amazing chameleon actor. I like his IMDb profile kind of looks like a slim who's the guy from Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives? Guy Fieri.
I was going to say, haven't a clue.
Okay, he's like a slim Guy Fieri in his IMDb profile. He is just, like, he can change his appearance, just by shaving off, like, his mustache or dyeing his hair or growing it out. Like, and he just adapts to the roles. Each role is so different. He can play a serious character on Stargate. He was... he was Major Paul Davis on a couple of the iterations of the Stargate series. And then one of his other big shows that I actually haven't watched was... What was it? Darn it. He was in Living in Cars, which was an HBO series I didn't watch. Now I'm not going to be able to find the other one that he was in.
And I don't have anything pulled up. I just have a few notes jotted, so that wasn't in my notes.
He was in 24 episodes of a TV series called Beggars and Choosers back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Um, let's see. He was in the movie Elektra. He was in the movie The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He was in the movie Best in Show,
Yes.
which was a great movie, but I looked him up in both Elektra and Best in Show to see if I could figure out who he was, and he just had little tiny parts.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. So, Da Vinci's Inquest.
Oh,
Was
there you
another
go.
one.
That was the big one that he was on. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in 33 episodes, and then he also reappeared in Da Vinci City Hall for 8 episodes. So he has a kind of like the Stargate different series. He's kind of had some reoccurring roles in the different iterations of those series. But yeah, he was he's kind of seems to be big into horror, which of course I love horror movies. So yeah, and he's coming out actually in a movie called Bashira.
Oh, really? What's that about?
It's filming. An electronic musician and troubled fan are plunged into a hallucinogenic nightmare where they must confront an ancient Japanese entity capable of bending space and time and wreaking havoc and death in order to save their souls.
Well, no, that's interesting because he plays the saxophone professionally. You
He
probably knew
does.
this already. He also plays the guitar.
And the grand piano.
And he said on a thing that I was listening to on YouTube, because I actually did do a little bit of research, that his guilty pleasure right now is sneaking into music rooms
In
and
university.
playing in other people's music rooms.
Yes, I did hear that. You and I watched the
We
same
listened to the
thing on
same one.
YouTube.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
So he must be the musician in Bashira.
I would think so. I would have to think that he is absolutely loving filming in Louisiana, being so musically
Oh,
inclined.
yeah. Good
Yeah.
point.
Being so close to New Orleans, I'm sure, like, I would love to think of him just, like, sitting in and playing saxophone with a band in some Louisiana bar.
I bet you he does.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a movie that I need to see by him that got nominated for a whole bunch of awards, called Centigrade. So in 2009, Cunningham made a name for himself as a director when he, along with actor-producer Madison Gray, made a short list for an Academy Award nomination for their film Centigrade.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Right. The film, in which Cunningham also starred, took over 24 Best of Awards and nominations. In addition to being considered for an Oscar, it became the first short film in iTunes history to break the top 10 featured downloads, finding itself right alongside Hollywood blockbusters such as Iron Man, Indiana Jones, and The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Huh.
Yeah, so guy's got some chops.
Well, he's very convincing and very funny as TC.
He absolutely is. Like I said, a chameleon of a character actor. Like, it took me a few minutes to realize where I knew him from. And it's funny, it's his smile that does it for me. He's got like very short teeth or something. Like, there's something about his smile that I just like, I know that guy. That's the guy from right now. That's the guy from Blood Drive, you know. And of course, it was the guy from The Falling Skies before Blood Drive. And so I think he's amazing. I think he's a very, very talented actor, and I'm so glad they got him for this role. And in the very, very opposite of what our last featured cast member, the guy who plays
Jeremy Childs.
Jeremy Childs. Jeremy Childs was a huge Preacher fan beforehand, whereas Colin Cunningham had never read anything, had never watched the show, anything like that. And so before they started filming, he sat down with them and was like, basically, kind of, where do you see this character? And he took the role as in, I want to play it fresh. I don't want it kind of tainted by what I would already know. And so now he's going through and reading the comic books and watching the show. So It's an interesting that you can do it either way. You can be a super fan and you can play it that way, or you can be a completely unknown
You can be
and
the unfan.
exactly. And both ways seem to be doing great because I absolutely love Madame Langel's farm hands, ranch hands.
Her crew.
Yeah, her crew, her voodoo crew.
Which, by the way, I would like people to know that Jeremy Childs is lovely and very interactive through the site that I mentioned last time. And he confirmed for us how tall he is. Did I say he was 6'5" or 6'6"?
He is 6'5".
So, big dude.
Yeah.
And
I absolutely
sweet.
I love that he messaged you back.
Yeah,
that was, awesome.
That was really nice. I got on their Facebook page and I said, so, please settle this for us. And he was, within an hour or so, had responded back and responded back a couple of times. He was very nice.
That is so awesome.
Yep. I told him that they do grow them awful big on swamp consomme.
So, and now I am struggling to find the young man who plays the young Jesse.
Oh, because he was really great in the Tombs.
Yes, he was. And the movie that I mentioned that he is coming out in, it's on gay conversion therapy.
Oh, right. You had mentioned that the last time we talked.
Yeah, with Nicole Kidman. It's already gaining Oscar buzz.
Wow.
Yeah, so
good for him.
That young, I mean, he's not. I don't think he's the main actor. I don't think he's the one that will be going through the gay conversion therapy, or he may be one of the characters, but not the main one. But he is definitely making a name for himself. I mean, he's going to be at the Oscars this year, most likely.
Speaking of Jesse and people who have played Jesse, Dominic Cooper is in Mamma Mia 2.
What?
Yes! Can you believe that?
No, I haven't even seen Mamma Mia 1.
Oh my god. Well,
I know,
if you like ABBA at all, you have to watch it, and then you have to watch Mamma Mia 2, and maybe we'll need to review Mamma Mia 2 for this podcast.
Oh my goodness, I am so not a chick flick person.
You know what? If my husband, who adores Mamma Mia, can watch it, you can watch it.
Yeah.
He adores it.
I kind of want to watch the second one just because Cher is in it.
Well, and Dominic Cooper.
Yeah, now I know Dominic Cooper's in it. That's funny. So it was Will Kinderchuk, and the movie is Boy Erased.
So we will have to look for that. Because he was great in the Tombs. Again, he's doing a bang-up job as the young Jesse.
Yeah, definitely.
And this one especially, I really felt like the Tombs really brought his character out.
Yeah, we got to see a lot of backstory.
Yeah.
With Jesse. So, yeah. So, yeah, Colin Cunningham, if anything, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I absolutely love Blood Drive. I made it through the first 3 seasons of Falling Skies, and then I fell behind, and I really, really need to finish. It ended in 2015. It's on the list to finish.
Oh, the list.
The list, it just keeps growing.
I know. I feel guilty that I haven't watched Cloak and Dagger, but I'm probably not going to.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, Nick is taping it, but it's just one more thing I don't have time for.
There's a new one coming out, and it's I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically Marvel's version of Catwoman. Yeah, I was watching the trailer for it, and I was like, this looks like a fan-made trailer with scenes from the Halle Berry Catwoman movie. Yeah, it wasn't. It was a legit trailer, but it's so both Marvel and DC kind of have characters that are very, very similar. One creates a character, and then the other one's like, oh, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to change the name a little, but it's going to have the same powers. So it's basically Marvel's version of Catwoman. So yet another one to add to the Marvel Universe list that we must watch to keep up.
I can't keep up.
No, I'm 2 seasons behind on Arrow and Supergirl and yeah. No.
Yeah, but those are DC, babe.
Those are DC.
But you're still behind.
I'm still behind. I'm behind on all of my superhero stuff. Yeah. Shame on me.
Well, shall we go into our gospel?
Let's do that.
Okay, so these are kind of combined gospel and Job and Revelations for the 2 episodes together.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to go first because I thought TC's dingle was hilarious. It was the only thing that I couldn't believe that they actually did it. It was another one where I was like, I can't believe that they actually truthfully are doing it. And him picking pubic hair out of the alligator's teeth or the baby lizard's teeth was just classic.
Okay, so my first watch through, I was only half paying attention. So after the whole "you want to see my dingle," and then she puts the lizard on it.
Right.
I did not register that it was a lizard, and I was like, oh my god, his dingle looks like a root vegetable. I did not register that was a lizard hanging from it. I was like,
was it a lizard or a baby alligator? Because it's the swamp, right?
Yeah, it was probably a baby alligator.
It seemed appropriate, especially with those teeth.
But I was like, that looks like a white carrot, I think. Was Tulip supposed to be inspecting it for some sort of disease or defect? Yeah. It was until the rewatch that I was like, oh, yeah, she had the thing clamped down on the thing. Yeah.
And she managed to avoid having to touch it, so good for her.
Oh, yes, that was good. There was something, I think it was on Instagram, and it was something like, do you want to see my dingle is swamp for I like you?
I thought I saw you share that too, because that was really funny.
Yeah. And like I said, they really, really do a good job of making Colin Cunningham unattractive. Because he's a very attractive man.
Well, it sounds like TC is not a very nice character in the comic books, which I have not gotten that far in the comics yet, so...
Yeah. I feel sorry. I feel more sorry for him than I do Jodie.
Right, totally. He's more of a sympathetic character, and it sounds like maybe that's not the case, but Colin Cunningham has intentionally given him that kind of vibe.
Right. I think it's because he's kind of pathetic.
Right.
Yeah.
He is completely pathetic.
And Jodie's not.
Jodie's just big and mean.
Yeah. Exactly. Do you want to sing my dingle?
All right, what's your gospel?
By the way, that's our next tattoo, if anything.
No.
I'm totally kidding. What was the one you texted me the other night?
I told you it should be "Let's sit crooked and talk straight."
That's what it was.
Which is from My Favorite Murder.
Right, and I was like, we have to get till the end of the world before we do that.
I had already planned on that.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a 2-for tattoo.
There you go.
Yeah. So my gospel was the pass-fail test. Where is it?
It was in the first episode. I remember that.
Oh, well, I have one for both. So my good was Tulip's pass-fail test with God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's passing or failing, but according, in the tombs, he kind of does a drive-by with her, so he's keeping tabs on her. So she kind of seemed like in Gonna Hurt, she screwed up the plan, but that was all part of the master plan because of her screwing up, because she's an O'Hare, and that's what they do, and that seemed really, really sad, but it kind of still seems like she's on a path for God, so...
He certainly hasn't given up on her. He checked up on her again in the tombs, too, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
The drive-by after he stuffed Madame Boyd in the trunk.
Right.
But so my very favorite part of the tombs was hell. I absolutely loved Satan's like office, I guess. His business offices on level
Right.
9 of hell.
Right.
Or
I thought
negative
that was
9.
awesome. The ninth circle of hell.
Yes. Yes. Negative. That was so perfect. And I loved the floor in his office.
Yeah,
Like,
it was pretty cool.
it's so hypnotic and mesmerizing. And like when we previously tried to podcast before, I was saying that this iteration of Satan is kind of a mishmash for me of the movie Legend, Darkness, played by Tim Curry. Ron Perlman is Hellboy, kind of got that bit of a look. And then in the movie, and I just had it, The Stand, Stephen King's The Stand, had a Satan-y kind of guy, and then a goat. If you mishmashed all of them and added goat, it was this Satan, and I absolutely loved Satan's furry little butt.
I did too.
Yeah, that was Diane's rating, as Satan's furry little butt, and his nose, his teeth, the ears, he looked like the inverted pentagram.
Like I said, Baphomet, and then we
Baphomet.
both laughed because only
Yes.
you and I would know that reference.
Yes, it absolutely. Someone did their homework and definitely had that in mind. It had to be. It can't be a coincidence. And then the weird thing, I thought the angel of death was Azrael, not Sid.
And I thought the angel of death belonged to heaven, not to hell.
Right. So does he have his own, or is it because God's missing? Like,
maybe the angel of death decided to take a sabbatical because God's missing.
yeah, I don't know, but
She took a sabbatical and changed her name.
And changed her name. Otherwise, this is like the second in charge for death.
There you go.
Like,
maybe that's it.
Like the assistant commissioner of death.
I like that.
But yeah, I loved, that the Saint of all killers, was called in to Satan, and like he was so very businesslike, like, yeah, we got to get this thing out of the way, and he was so funny about it. He was like, I really hate this part. Well,
no,
actually,
I really
no,
don't.
I really hate this part, to be honest. Yeah, I loved everything about our trip to hell. And it kind of sounds like we're going to see a little bit of Hitler and Eugene coming up.
That's who the Saint of Killers is after, right?
Yes.
That's what I got from that.
Right. And this is a capture, not a kill quest. So.
Gotta bring hell back into balance.
What's funny is Hitler's dead. Like, do you come back to life if you escape hell? Because Hitler's dead. Hitler died, went to hell. Now, the argument can be made that Eugene is a living person because he didn't die and go to hell. He was sent to hell,
right,
as a living person. So, yeah, that part was a little bit confusing to me, but I'm really glad we're going to get them back in. And I also really, really want to know who Satan was talking to when the Saint of Killers came into the room, because
it sounded like Ms. Mannering, didn't it?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just hearing Ms. Mannering everywhere.
I think you are. So, let's see. Where did I write it down? I guess I didn't write it down. But Satan was like, make sure everything's taken care of on your end. And then he said something about the All-Father, which we're going to see in the next episode. So, I don't know. I think he's colluding with someone in heaven for his big plan, his grand plan.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, they've always kind of kept each other in balance, right?
Right.
Heaven and hell.
Right. Yeah. And I love that he called it a big, beautiful plan. That's all I'm saying.
I know, right? I got chastised by one of our Biters listeners for being a little too political, so...
Oh, we're sorry. It's so hard because a lot of these shows touch on socio-political issues.
They do.
They intentionally, the writers try to make it relative to the time. So sometimes it is very, very hard, and we know that we are very left leaning. So just know that we view everything through that filter, and you get along just fine.
Or you'll decide to stop listening, and then we'll be down to 2 listeners.
I'll still podcast.
I would still podcast too.
Yeah.
Even though I'm kind of meh and middle bookish tonight, I would still podcast.
Yeah, but talking to me always makes you happy.
It does. It's the only reason I'm on the phone, sister.
Oh, and I live to make people happy.
That said, what's your Job?
So, I had a really hard time for finding one for the tombs. And really, the only thing that I could come up with was when, after Jesse let Cassidy go and he went out and he was like, I have 3 announcements. 1, to the owner of a blue Corolla, I don't know why you have an
Right.
alarm, but it is going off. And then 2, and he talked about, God being gone and the tombs is shutting down and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what that was all about. I don't know. I don't know what the end game was for that. He let Cassidy go, but there were still a ton of people that were left languishing in the tombs, and it's his grandmother has the blood thing over his head, so
The blood compact.
yeah, so he wasn't getting away. So I don't know what the point of trying to shut down the tombs was, and it was very, very weird that I don't know what part of the plot that goes towards. And so I thought it was kind of out of place for me.
So my Job was also about Jesse, but it was just that Jesse is becoming someone I really don't like. And I know
Really?
it's intentional, and I know that it's to lead us through the development of this season, but he's awful to Tulip, he's awful to Cassidy, and I know that he thinks he's protecting them from Grandma, but he's just really become kind of an awful, selfish person.
Yeah, but right there towards the end when he and Tulip made up, you could kind of see a glimmer of the old Jesse. And he tries to be a really awful person to protect other people, like he did with Madame Boyd back in the day when they were dating. He drove her away for her own protection.
I agree. I mean, it wasn't very well done, but I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree he's being kind of a douche canoe, but it's definitely intentional.
Well, that was kind of my Job, just being bummed out seeing Jesse like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was kind of I'm kind of still a little bit bummed out that even though Jesse was trying to save Cassidy, that Cassidy is still mad at Jesse and wants to kill him.
Well, and is this the end of Cassidy on the show? It can't be.
It can't be. You saw who was sitting behind him, right?
No. Oh, yeah. Laura Featherstone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And could she be more conspicuous? She was in a bright red blouse with the most awful bobbed cut wig, black wig. Like she was like sleeping with the enemy, taking a bus away from her abusive husband.
Oh, God, you're so funny.
I have to tell you that I was with some family and friends this past week, and they were like, oh my God, you watch so much TV. And because every other thing we talked about, I had a movie or television show reference or something like that. And they were,
You were
yeah,
saying that you were with some family, and family was saying that, oh my God, you have a movie or TV reference for everything.
Yes. And I found out that they're hypocrites, and I don't watch more TV than them. I just watch different TV than them.
Okay, you watch better TV than them.
And that's what I said.
Because I
was
know
like,
what kind of garbage they watch.
Yeah. So, but I had a movie reference for everything, and yeah. So, what is your gospel? Or I'm sorry, not your gospel. Your
My revelation.
revelation.
Well, my revelation was that it was really cool to finally learn how the blood compact works and to realize that it really doesn't matter if you get the napkin back unless you're cleared by grandma.
Right. So that, funnily enough, was also kind of my revelation.
Oh, very good.
So, did you notice that when Madame Boyd, by the way, I absolutely love that Tulip, like, overnight was like, oh, your ex-girlfriend! And Madame Boyd was not, like, she was totally nonplussed about the whole thing. She's, like, in there on her phone, like, just chilling in the trunk of Tulip's car.
And I don't know who that actress is, but she may have to be next week's featured cast because she's pretty cool.
She is, and Jesse definitely kind of has a type, and I'm not talking about skin color. Like, he is
sassy girls.
Yeah, definitely. I like his taste in women.
With also very strong faces with, like, strong planes,
Yes, and beautiful skin.
Yes,
like,
incredible skin.
Just dewy. So, did you notice how Madame Boyd was very careful to say that killing Grandma wasn't going to have some double voodoo switcheroo that it goes back and makes Jesse's head fall off?
Do you think that she's being really intentional about that because it actually does happen?
No, I think she made it very clear that killing Grandma will not harm Jesse. I think it'll kill whoever, or it'll harm whoever killed Grandma. I think it'll harm Tulip.
So do you think that she wants Jesse back for herself?
Oh, definitely.
Still, after all this time, huh?
After all this time. Look at Tulip. After all this time, till the end of the world.
But Tulip, no, I was going to say Tulip never hated Jesse, but that's not true. I'm sure she's had more than her share of moments where she hated Jesse.
Oh, there was like an entire 3 episodes about like her losing the baby and him becoming a layabout around the house and like chastising her for going back into contract killing. And so they've had their strife. But Madame Boyd was very careful to say that no, killing Grandma will not harm Jesse. Yeah. Interesting.
I missed that completely.
Yeah, I think she put Tulip. I think that's why Madame Boyd has never killed Grandma. Is it would hurt her. I think she put Tulip on the trail to kill Grandma, and then something's gonna happen to Tulip. But there's got to be some double voodoo switcheroo. But because Tulip was brought back to life by Grandma, it's like she's gonna be like have some sort of immunity idol. I don't know. Bold prediction.
Interesting. Well, we have 6 episodes to figure this out in because Colin Cunningham confirmed for us in that interview that there are 10 episodes this season.
Yes.
So we've got a little bit more time for this to come true or not to come true.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we've been confirmed for season 4, have we?
We have not. Certainly Colin Cunningham made it sound in that interview like there's going to be a season 4, but I mean, I think it all ultimately comes down to whether or not AMC is willing to pay for a season 4.
Right.
Actors can fantasize all they want, but...
You know what? Looks like there's 13 episodes this season.
Really? So maybe he was speaking a little soon in that interview.
Maybe he's only in 10.
Oh, that's possible. That's very possible.
Oh, because nasty little guys like TC and Jody are going to come to nasty ends.
At least TC, maybe not Jody. Although Jody is owed by Jesse. He owes him for killing his dad.
Yeah. Well, I just think that, like, TC is going to fall into the chipper and become consomme.
Right? Well, I hope not before he and Cassidy have one more drinking party together because, oh my god, that was hilarious.
Right?
Just one more wee toot.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, anything else on Revelation?
I don't think so.
I guess we're kind of into the word then.
Yeah. So speaking of TC and Cassidy drinking party, what is in TC's adrenaline? Is it just me or did it look like urine?
It's probably urine.
So when they were right before they were putting the fighters on each other, they were injecting them with something, and then later on you see TC grab like a cup that says TC's adrenaline, and he's pouring it into like test tubes, and it looked like urine.
So it could also be stuff that he's like mixing up from various and sundry different critters because heaven
Right?
knows he's got access to all of those different things.
Right? Could you imagine like him and Cassidy coming up with a concoction because of all of their different subset of skills? It would be like the adrenal glands of squirrels and a wee bit of shite dripping out of the AC.
Dripping out of the back of the AC.
Right? Oh, the things that they could come up with. It would be magical.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, so Jesse and Cass like very briefly made up in Gonna Hurt and then had it out again.
Yeah, but Cassidy didn't use the love tonic on Tulip, so he
Yet.
just left.
Yet.
Where's he going?
Yeah,
What's
I
he
don't know.
doing?
That's what I was wondering too.
So I heard some whispers on the interwebs about the cadre of vampires or the what is it? The
Coven? I mean, they call
Yeah,
themselves covens sometimes.
yeah, the coven of vampires
Yeah.
that he's a part of. Kind of we may kind of see a little bit more of that this season.
Oh,
So
that'd be cool.
is he going in for reserves?
Or maybe he's just going in for some downtime.
Yeah.
Because at this point, it doesn't sound like he cares a whole heck of a lot about getting Jesse out of the situation. He just wants Tulip out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, but he wasn't willing to use the love potion on her.
Oh, did you catch, by the way, that at the end of Gonna Hurt, he caught and drained the
The chicken.
yes, that chicken
Yes.
that's gonna live forever, or that we thought was gonna live forever.
Well, could it be a vampire voodoo chicken now?
Now, or is the vampire filled with voodoo chicken blood, and that does something special?
Oh, wow. That would be amazing. We should write.
Probably.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm like sad if it's dead, and I'm kind of concerned that it's not.
It'll be kind of cool if it's not.
Yeah, yeah. Or if the voodoo blood does do something to Cassidy, that would be awesome. That would be very cool.
That would be very cool.
So in Gonna Hurt, when Tulip sneaks into Grandma's room and is like snooping around, do you remember that?
What does she eat out of the urn?
I actually seriously have those exact words written down.
Okay, because that's exactly what I have written down.
Okay. What did Tulip eat out of the urn? It looked like either like a prune or a date, but God knows.
Well, and who did it belong to? Who was it part of?
Yeah, it was probably someone's like shriveled pancreas or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Ugh. But did you notice the phone in her room?
No.
So there's something about it to me screamed phone to hell. Like she has a direct line to Satan. I can't remember. I have written down phone line to hell ?
Interesting. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Another bold prediction.
Yeah. That would be awesome. And And she also can put souls back into people because you can fight in the tombs and win your soul back.
I
So,
noticed that. So can she put them back in? Or I guess she must be able to because she was able to essentially put Tulip's soul back in Tulip
well, but I was under the understanding that she was sucking their souls to gain
to
like
stay
the power
alive.
to stay alive.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So does it take anything away from her to give the soul back, or does she have a bank of souls somewhere? So
There's
all
there's a catch where she doesn't have to give the soul back.
well, I don't think anyone actually makes it out of the tombs alive.
No, I don't think anybody actually wins their fight with Jody.
No, no, definitely not. I don't. I think once you're in the tombs, you never make it out, unless you're a skin suit for Cassidy.
Which was really awesome.
Oh God, it was so creepy, awesome.
Oh, it actually kind of made me think of the Egger suit in Men in Black.
Oh, and it made me think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It was
Oh,
probably meant to make you think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
yeah, because like in the modern one, the he wore the face of the boyfriend and tortured the girl with it, and I was just like, oh my God, that's so creepy.
Of course you would know that, and I would not.
Well, and yeah, random fact about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one, they kind of mixed up the names of serial killers and used them for the names of the guys that
Oh,
like
interesting.
Ed Kemper
Hmm.
and yeah, it's like I can't remember. Was it Ed Kemper? That was
Ed Kemper is the name of the serial
a serial
killer.
killer, yeah, and then like Ed Gein and yeah, yeah. So don't name your kid Ed.
Yeah. Or
Just
Ted.
yeah, yeah, or Ted or John. Wait, yeah, or Donald. I'm just saying.
None of those 70s names. Gary? No
No.
Gary.
Although he could grow up to be like Gary Sinise.
Well, I don't know. I just
I don't know.
listened to, I just binged on some of my favorite murder. No Gary.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't take the chance. Yeah.
So, do you have any numbers other than hell, other than the ninth circle of hell?
So I do. Um,
So, I have one, and I'm just going to blurt it out real quick because it's my only one, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything except, did you notice the number on Cassidy's shirt?
um, 81, wasn't it?
Right, and did you know, were you able to put together what the shirt was?
Journey, Tour of
Journey's
81.
Don't Stop Tour, Don't Stop Believing
Yeah,
Tour. I thought that was awesome.
I love Journey.
Who doesn't? Who
Just
isn't
a
a small town
little
girl?
girl. Oh, that's awesome. Don't stop believing. Oh, that's so funny. Um, yeah, so when Tulip was racing to New Orleans to go to the Grail's headquarters, which I thought was so funny that their cards say the Grail, top secret organization. Their address is 126 Annunciation Street, Suite 538.
Oh my goodness, good on you for finding the numbers. I totally missed them.
So, Psalms 126, really, I didn't get much out of it. It was the only one that came up under 126. A Song of Degrees. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we are like them that dream. There was our mouth filled with laughter and our tongue with singing. And then they said among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them. The Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Lord, as it streams into the south. They that sow tears shall reap in joy. He goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing sheaves with him.
Dear God.
Right? I think I do a little wordy.
Very wordy.
Yeah. So we're kind of breaking up again. So
Yeah, we're kind of breaking up again a little bit.
yeah, unfortunately. But the Junction 310 is where she was headed on the road.
Okay.
And the only thing what from 310 that I got was kind of some weird stuff from the Hebrew Bible, so that didn't really pan out. But by the way, if you are quick with the pause button, the phone number on the Grail's business card is a legit phone number. It is not a 555. It is a 504 area code, which is New Orleans, and it is a 212 prefix, which is New Orleans, and then there is a 4-digit number after that, which I will not give. I did not call it. I don't have
I was
that
just
much
going to
help.
ask you if you called it.
I didn't, but it shows the full phone number.
Oh, you should totally call it. Now you have to call it before the next episode.
Oh.
You can call it and then be like, wrong number, sorry.
That's funny. Is *67 still a thing? Can I block my number? It's probably a setting on my phone, my cell phone, that I don't know about.
Probably.
I can probably make my phone number private. Yeah, so it's a legit phone number. It is not a 555 phone number. So I will have to man up and call. Oh,
Yami is insisting.
Yeah. So now I have to do it.
You have to do it. The Shiba Inu says so.
Emperor Yamamoto has to. So the other number that I got, did I write it down? Oh, so the address that in the tombs that Jesse tried to send Cassidy to.
Yeah, where was that? Was it in New Orleans?
3927 St. Anne Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. So if you Google 3927 and Bible, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Parapidemos? 3927 Parapidemos?
So that's not a book in the Bible that I'm traditionally familiar with.
So it's sort of a part of a speech. And the short definition is residing in a strange country, a stranger. Definition, residing in a strange country, subset stranger, sojourn, pilgrim, stranger, an alien alongside, a resident foreigner, pilgrim. So, yeah, I thought that was weird that it actually came up.
I wonder what it would be if you Googled that address, like if you did Google Maps.
Oh, and I did that for the Grail Industries address, and there was no 126 Annunciation Street, New Orleans, but there was a 126 Annunciation Street in a different part of Louisiana. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, they should totally hide Easter eggs and have something funny on Google Street View somehow.
That would be really funny.
Yeah. But, so, do you know who Saint Anne is?
I don't.
Saint Anne was Mary's mother, so Jesus' grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah, so and of course Annunciation is large and big in the Bible. So they're doing a little bit of hiding stuff in there.
I wonder if it is another address for Grail Industries. I mean, when you think of the religious themes, could he have been sending him to Hair Star?
The only other thing I could think of was I don't think he knows that Dennis is dead. So was that Dennis's address? Was he sending Cassidy back to his son?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're right. I don't think he knows Dennis is dead.
Okay, so there is not a 3927 St. Anne Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. There is a 3027 St. Anne on Realtor.com.
So quick, go buy that house.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually a vacant lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can build.
Ooh, and property prices in New Orleans are going up.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh, and the funny thing is the it's actually on the Street View thing that they give you on Realtor. It's actually not a vacant lot, but it kind of looks like it was damaged in the floods.
Oh,
And
possibly.
so, yeah, there's a small ramshackled building, but it may not be there anymore because, of course, the Google Street View could be out of date. But yeah, so they did use Jesus's grandma as the address. But yeah, I kind of thought that maybe he was sending him back to Dennis.
Well, an Annunciation is the announcement that Jesus is going to be born. So,
And that's
mother,
Grail Street.
son,
Yeah.
Grail. Yeah, hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe that's where Cassidy will go to in the time that he's down.
Yeah, I think he's going to regroup
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
And get Tulip. Get
And
Tulip
get
out of
Tulip.
there.
Yeah, I think he's going to come back with some sort of reinforcements of some
Because
kind.
he's still got the love spell, or at least we think he's got the love spell.
He didn't throw it out. He took it with him. Yeah. Interesting.
Well, you got anything else?
Laura Featherstone. Yeah, I think that was it.
I did really think that Jesse trying to ship Cassidy off in that box was pretty funny.
That was.
And the kid
you know,
in the store.
and he said no hazardous liquids, not no liquids.
That's funny. Well, and I guess
very
depending on who you talk to, blood may or may not be a hazardous liquid.
Yeah. My blood isn't hazardous liquid, but strange blood is.
It's just a swamp consomme.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty funny. Don't overfill the packing peanuts.
Oh.
The Jody's a swirl guy. I was totally waiting for him to like tell Jesse to like stuff his frozen yogurt, you know?
I thought that was pretty funny that they were just out for some frozen yogurt.
Yeah, and the name of the liquor store was No Cans, No Bottles, Just Kegs.
That's my kind of liquor store.
Right? I seriously wonder if that's a thing down there. That's awesome. So yeah, that is. Did you see the Next Time On Preacher?
No, I mean I kind of watched a little bit, so I know we're gonna see some of Hairstar, and I know that we're gonna see
Humperdoo.
Oh, I didn't realize we were gonna see Humperdoo. See, I didn't watch the whole thing, so
I'm so excited to see Humperdoo.
Yay.
It doesn't look like we get Eugene or
Hitler,
but that they may just be saving that. I don't know.
Why do you need them when you have Humperdoo?
I know, right?
Yay!
And if you've watched the preview, he's doing so well.
Oh, very good.
He's not humping anyone in this scene.
or peeing on anyone.
Or peeing on anyone. Yeah, he's just trying to eat the ring off the queen's finger. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm not going to say anything. I will not say anything. I will not say anything. I'm not going to give in to temptation.
Socio-political relevant commentary by the writers.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Of course, this was filmed like a year ago, so I'm pretty sure they have a line into the future, like, Madame Langelle crystal ball was handy.
Totally, man.
So funny. So awesome.
Well, I guess we're gonna wrap her up then?
I think so. Not bad for middle book episodes, on your opinion.
Well, only because you carried it, sister.
I really do love the show. I really wish people would give it a chance. I wish they would have given Blood Drive a chance. I will watch Colin Cunningham open an envelope. Like,
Well, you know, I'm
yeah,
kind of hoping maybe since Dominic Cooper is in Mamma Mia 2, that it might gain some notice for Preacher. We can always hope.
right. Maybe people will become fans of Dominic Cooper and then start watching Preacher and retroactively listen to our podcast.
There you
And
go. And then we're famous, and then it's all good. We're the next
right.
Georgia and Karen.
Step 1, start podcast. Step 2, something. Step 3, world domination.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's as simple as that.
I like that.
All right.
All right, little sister. To the end of the world.
Till the end of the world.
Everybody have a good week, and we'll be back on our regular schedule next week.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
I left his body in the woods, and I took off running south. I left his body